Hello, dear students. I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to a new lecture. Today, we're having a reading comprehension workshop. We are still in the third unit, Famous Scientists and Scientific Discoveries. We're going today to start with the second lesson entitled Kyoto Box. So let's think of these lead-in questions to our reading. First question is, what is a scientific discovery? What or should we consider all scientific discoveries, the big and the small one, equally? So, what is a scientific discovery? And should we consider all scientific discoveries, the big and the small ones, equally? Do you know some cheap inventions that facilitate your mother's work at home? So something that's cheap, it's an invention, someone created a new idea. It's cheap, it does not cost that money to be created or to be made in the first place, yet it's really helpful to our daily life. And if yes, I'm sure you know so much inventions, mention some of them. What do you think a Kyoto box is? Now, based on the previous questions, you should deduce that it's an invention, a very small invention, and it's a cheap invention that saves humans' life and also the environment. How is a Kyoto box related to deforestation? As I just said, how is it related to the environment? Do you have any idea how a box could help the environment and also the humans? Also, how is it related to the loss of topsoil and landslides? And should people use the Kyoto box in Lebanon? Now, after thinking of these questions, which are a lead-in to our reading, let's set a purpose for our reading. So we're going to read the following selection to find out how the Kyoto box, which is a very small invention, prevents cutting trees for wood and eventually maintains green environment, and how it prevents the emission of poisonous gases due to using firewood. And finally, how it purifies water. So far, you know, three different benefits for this box, or you have a general idea of its purpose. And what conclusions can you infer based on what's said so far? So before reading, what do you think Kyoto box is? Make your predictions and then you will check them after we read. So let's read the reading lesson, and then after that, we're going to answer the comprehension questions. Starting with paragraph number 1. Mr. Balmer, who you can see in the picture, and his Kyoto box have made a dramatic difference. You can see the box, it's made of cardboard, okay? Let's continue reading paragraph 2. Inventions can change our world in dramatic ways, for sure. Think how different our lives would be without the telephone, electricity, computers, or the internet. In 2009, John Balmer won $75,000 for his invention, which is the very simple invention in front of you. Balmer's invention, called the Kyoto box, can use free energy released from the sun, so we call it the solar energy, the sun energy, to cook food. So this very simple box made of cardboard can use the solar energy to cook food. As you can see, the material used in this box, it's very cheap. So you can create tons of these boxes in a day. It can be used to purify the water for safe drinking also. So that's another benefit. It will save trees. That's third. How would it save trees? You will see next, because people will be using this box instead of using the wood of the trees to make fire and make food. It will prevent more greenhouse gases being added to the atmosphere. What are these gases? For sure, if people are going to cook using wood, they're going to make a fire. So the gases from these fires will cause greenhouse effect. Okay, so far you have seen several benefits of this box. It can even help people keep safe because there's no fire here, you know? So that's why this invention won $75,000, because no matter how cheap it is, it's really helpful to both the human and to the environment. Let's read paragraph 3. It's estimated that 2 billion people worldwide use wood for cooking. So about 2 billion people worldwide use wood for cooking. In many places in Africa, firewood is scarce. Scarce, like there's a shortage, so it's not so much available. People must travel many miles searching for firewood. So firewood is scarce. There is no abundant quantity of firewood, which means the wood that the African people will use to create fire and cook. So they can use this box because in this case, they won't have to travel for long miles to search for the firewood. When they are searching, they are often attacked also in forests. The Kyoto box helps them stay safe since they do not need to walk far from their huts. Okay? It can help people stay well. So that's how it helps them stay safe. Breathing smoke from cooking fires can cause respiratory diseases. Millions die each year from breathing smoke from cooking fires. Millions more die from drinking unsafe water. And we said that it purifies the water. Judges of the contest, when you create an invention, you participate in a contest, and there are judges who have to judge who is the winner based on how useful your invention is. So the judges of the contest said that one reason the Kyoto box was chosen as the winner of the grand prize was its potential for helping so many people. Potential or the possibility, its ability. Paragraph 4, the Kyoto box is made from cardboard and can be used for sterilizing water or boiling or baking food even. It's made from 2 cardboard boxes which use reflective foil, and as you can see, the foil that reflects the sunlight to get the energy. So which use reflective foil and black paint to maximize absorption of solar energy. Covering the cooking pot with a transparent cover retains heat and water. Retains, keeps, okay? And temperatures inside the pot can reach at least 80 degrees Celsius. The Kenyan-based inventor hopes it can make solar cooking widespread in the developing world, supplanting the use of wood, which is driving deforestation. Supplanting means taking place of the wood, okay? Which is driving deforestation, losing the forests from cutting trees and the soil, okay? It's possible such a simple device can resolve so many problems, right? The Kyoto box can be made for about $6 only, so you can see how cheap it is. Many cookers can be made each day. John Balmer was not the first person to make a solar cooker. In fact, people have been using solar energy to cook with for hundreds of years. Balmer took an idea that's been around for a long time, and that's what we do in any invention. It doesn't have to be always a unique idea, which no one has thought of before. However, we take this idea and we make it special. He used it to solve the problems of today, the problems which people are facing today. He entered his idea in the Climate Change Challenge contest. Balmer is using the prize money to test the solar cooker in 10 countries. So still, he has a purpose to help people. So he's using this money to test the effectiveness of this box in different countries, mainly in 10 countries. He says, we're saving lives and saving trees. I doubt if there is any other technology that can make so much impact for so little money. So that's all about the Kyoto box and why it's a very great, still cheap invention. So I hope the reading lesson was clear and you understood all the ideas and also the vocabulary words. Now let's read and answer these questions. We're going to answer each of the following questions in complete sentences using our own words, for sure based on the selection. So identify the main idea of the above text. This is a comprehension skill. What's the main idea? What is this text talking about? That's what I have to ask. It's talking about the small invention that Balmer created, which is called the Kyoto box. It's giving us information about it, its usefulness, and also why it's an invention. Why is it called an invention? And why even it won the contest, because of its benefits for the humanity and the environment. So that's the main idea. Question number 2, based on your understanding of the text, state the way or the ways that Kyoto box can preserve environment and prevent the emission of poisonous gases. So based on the text, how can it save the environment or preserve the environment? It's preserving the soil and the forest from deforestation. Why? Because people are using the Kyoto box instead of using the wood from trees. So they no longer have to cut trees. And also we're saving the atmosphere from the emission of gases because no fire will be made. So no poisonous gases will be emitting, okay? That's the answer. Now, question number 3, what distinguishes or differentiates Balmer's Kyoto box from other cookers? What do you think? Why, what is different about it? Because as you can see, the material it's made from, it's very cheap. So tens of boxes can be made in one day and it can be used anywhere by anyone and it's safe. Question number 4, what kind of person is John Balmer? Identify 2 character traits that describe his personality. We answered such question in the previous lesson, Women and Science, and also on the test, and also we have a similar question in the biweekly review sheet. So how do I describe the person? Should it be stated directly in the text, like Balmer is blah, blah, blah? No, not necessarily, not all the time. Most of the time, in such questions, the characteristics of the person or his personality wouldn't be stated directly. So you have to deduce based on what you have read about him. So what are 2 character traits? He, for example, he is a person who loves the humanity and also the environment because you see he created something to save people and to save the environment. Yet when he also won the money, he used this money to test this invention to keep making sure that his invention will help the humanity. So he's helpful and he is creative, for example, intelligent, because you have to have an intelligent mind to find a solution for multiple problems at the same time. And in addition to that, using cheap material. So as simple as that, what I just did now is that I concluded 2 character traits based on what I've read. And that's what I want you to do to answer such questions. Now, question number 5, does the writer expect the Kyoto box to be widely or narrowly used? Explain. Do you think it will be used widely in various countries or narrowly? Now, for sure, we should say widely because he talked about the African countries and most, if not all, if we don't want to generalize, most people there have to go for very long miles to look for firewood. So imagine everyone in Africa or almost everyone would be able to use it. He also talked about the developing countries and he's testing it in 10 different countries. So for sure, he's expecting it to be used widely, not narrowly, not in a specific area only. Now, based on your understanding of the text, fill in the following table with the necessary information as indicated. Use phrases. So phrases, not sentences. What are the advantages of the Kyoto box? We have said them already, so I will leave this for you. List 4 advantages. And here, part C, what are the risks of not using the Kyoto box, which is the opposite of the advantages. So if these are the advantages, if we do not use it, the opposite would be the risks. For example, the emission of gases, death of people, because they're not being safe when they go to forests to look for firewood, etc. So that's on you to think of it. Now, part D, you're going to explain the following statements in your own words. Now, I want to teach you, or mainly remind you, not teach you, because I've taught you this very long time ago at the very beginning of the school year. We said always in such questions, what we are asked to do is to paraphrase. Paraphrase, which means I have to say what the statement means, but in my own words. And I have here the reference, which means where is or where Was this sentence mentioned? It was mentioned in paragraph 2, for sure, in this selection. So there is a format for answering such questions. What you have to say is in reference, or you can say as mentioned in the second paragraph of the text entitled, you open quotations, Kyoto box, and for sure capitalized by, you put here author's family name, okay? The author means, and blah, blah, blah here, you say what the statement means. That's how we have to answer such questions. In reference to this paragraph in the text entitled, we open quotations, we write the title, capitalize first letters, for sure for the letters that should be capitalized in a title. By, we write the family name of the author means, and we write what it means. Inventions can change our world in dramatic ways. So what does that mean? Tell me the meaning of this statement in your own words. For sure, when we are paraphrasing also, I should not add extra information. I just say what's mentioned here completely. Also, I should not remove any important ideas mentioned. And I use different words, okay? Like dramatic, I can use a synonym here. Inventions, I can use a synonym. So major vocabulary words, I use synonyms for them, and I can change sentence structure to paraphrase. Okay, take it as a note on your comprehension copybook, because that's how you're going to answer for all the paraphrase questions. So I will leave this for you. It's really clear. Inventions, creations can change our world in dramatic ways. Why? Because they're affecting our lives. That's why they can change our world dramatically. The second one, same thing. You say, as mentioned in paragraph 5 in the text entitled, by the, you write family name of the author. The author means, and you say what this statement means. I doubt if there is any other technology that can make so much impact for so little money. So clearly he means most of the inventions are really costly. So little inventions are that cheap as his. So he doubts there would be an invention cheaper than $6, you know? And it's not only about being cheap, but also cheap and being a great invention with such a great impact. That's what it's being meant here. Now, here are vocabulary words. You're going to skim the paragraphs here to find words that match the following. Something that's limited or rare is something that's scarce. We say scarcity. So here it is scarce, okay? And then possibility or promise, the possibility, the probability. You go to paragraph 3 to make sure what word is mentioned there. While I was reading the text, I told you that this word means possibility. And then hold or keep means retain, all right? Also here, you're going to skim the indicated paragraphs to find words that best complete the meaning of the following sentences. What rescue at sea is characterized by or expressive of the action or emotion associated with drama or the theater. To reach a decision or make a determination is to what? On a course of action. So find a word, vocabulary word in paragraph 5 that fits the context here and completes this sentence. Then the what year is determined or measured in reference to the sun. Now here, that's not the speaking activity that you're entitled to do for this week. However, this is an extra speaking activity, which I might be asking you to do for later. And this is a possible prompt for you to practice writing. The genre here is a descriptive writing. So you're going to describe this based on this code. Science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world. Taking the above quote into consideration, write a well-organized descriptive essay in which you describe any scientific invention you find interesting, okay? And then what are the characteristics and the benefits? So I would be later asking you to write this essay, and here also I might be asking you to present an invention orally for about 3 to 4 minutes. Okay, here is the answer key. We answered all the questions, and here scars, potential, and retain the vocabulary, and also dramatic resolve and solar for the last question. I hope everything was clear, and have a nice day. If you have any question, please find my email and you can contact me.